There was, again in this Pew survey, Pew Global Survey, the majorities in 7 Muslim countries surveyed out of 8 thought that their country could be attacked by the United States at some point in time, sooner or later. Now, the real question is, do these fears really matter? Do these negative sentiments that have grown between the United States and Muslims really matter? And I should say that it's both ways. Look, the first thing that happens to me when I come into this country, they look at my Pakistani passport and say, "Sir, that line please, you're to be fingerprinted." Well, fine. Actually, I personally don't resent it. Because I know that America has to protect itself. But I do know a lot of Pakistanis, a lot of Muslims who have been unfairly harassed, who have been carted off to jails, who are lying in jails without legal representation, who have been deported for the most frivolous of reasons. And there is an increasing sense among Muslims in this country, among Muslims globally, that the United States is specifically targeting them. But then, I come back to my question. Does it really matter? I mean, look, here is Major Roberts saying that we've got to be prepared for this, and basically what we've got to do is just get better and better technology and learn how to bomb them better and better, and get our satellites working more efficiently, and just improve the state of our killing machine. So that's one kind of response, and if you take that kind of line, then there is there's a set of logical consequences that follow from them. But I think that one ought not to be so dismissive. I think that these fears and negative sentiments really do matter. And perhaps they matter more for me and for others who live in countries like Pakistan, like Algeria, like Saudi Arabia, like Egypt, and so forth, than for people over here. And I'll tell you why. Because feeding upon anti-Americanism, the right wing, the religious fundamentalists, the Islamic militants have made their political fortunes rise to the skies. To give you but the example of Pakistan. Throughout our history, whenever there were polls, the mullahs never got more than 3%, 2%, maybe 4% of the vote at most. They would get a handful of members into the National Assembly, into the Provincial Assembly. Not this time. This time, a year ago, when polls were held, the right-wing fundamentalist Muslim parties were able to capture 2 state assemblies, those of the frontier province and those of Balochistan. And never before in Pakistan's history have such forces come through legitimate elections to the top. And when they came, what did they do? It's mind-blowing. They tore down all the advertising posters which had women on them, faces of women. They said that's un-Islamic. Co-education to be banned. Girls and boys cannot study together. A woman cannot even go and buy sanitary products unless she is accompanied by a male member, etc., etc. And this takes us back enormously. And it's there in every aspect of our lives. Video, television, all banned. So it matters deeply to me. But let me tell you why it should matter even more to people in America. Well, let's leave aside the minor inconveniences like having to spend a bit on homeland security, of being checked a few times at the airport, or the fact that Americans can travel to fewer places for holidays, some decrease in commerce, McDonald's maybe attacked a few places around the globe and so forth. Those are minor things. Then we come to the more major things. Over time, there will be more and more surveillance of people's personal lives. They will want to know everything about you because of the lurking fear of terrorism, which will actually be a real terrorism. Because when that anger grows, terrorism grows with it. There will, in consequence, arise a xenophobia. And then much of the media will become like Fox Media, like Fox Television, which I would say is the American equivalent of Al Jazeera.